Heyo, welcome back to Melly Loves Death Metal. It is Thursday night. I've got some time. I'm going to be gone this weekend, so I'm not uploading any weekend videos. But I figured I would make a relatively easy video today and answer some more questions. I've gotten some questions the last couple of weeks in my comments of my videos, and I've put them down in a little notepad on my phone. So unfortunately, I was just too lazy to screenshot who asked the questions, and there's some troll questions I'm going to cover here because I figured why not, content, might as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I got about five or six questions I'll cover today. This actually was a troll comment, and I knew it was a troll comment, but I'm gonna answer it anyway because I feel like this is actually a pretty common thing that people pitch about on my YouTube channels, and I pretty much covered it in my video, the response video to Jurgen the other day, which did really well. So thank you for that. I appreciate all of the love I've been getting on that channel. The conversations have been great. I only had 2 troll comments and covering both of them today. And hopefully more of you went over and watched Jurgen's channel and subscribed to him if you weren't familiar with them. Most of you that commented, I know you already know who Jurgen was. So, but that was, partially the goal of that video. So thank you for all of that. It was fun to make. I like making response videos to YouTubers and, being interactive. But the comment was, and it was totally a troll comment because you obviously didn't listen to my video or you don't watch my videos of the past either. And so I clicked on the person's name and they just created the account. They weren't subscribed to anybody else. So yeah, it was a troll. Why do you waste your money on color vinyl and these shitty reissues? I don't understand that vinyl fad. Why haven't you covered that? You're a part of the reason of the vinyl trend issue because you're only buying the reissues in the color vinyl. Just get the OGs, you fucking poser. And the fact that he said you fucking poser has made me just predetermine that this is a Justin Horville person. No shot at Justin Horville, but like literally nobody was using poser until they started watching Justin's videos. But I wasn't even going to cover this, but it kind of it's good to talk about again, maybe a little bit more in depth than I did in the last video, but let's just go into a little bit of a dissertation here. I was born in 1984. I'm 40 years old. In my time of being able to collect physical media where I was actually able to get it into a collection, CDs were in the height or were popular at the time. Vinyl was dead. Cassette tapes were dying. So CDs and tapes were really the only thing I knew. I did not start collecting vinyl until 14 years ago. It's been about 14 years. And when I started collecting vinyl is when the color vinyl was the boom. Everybody was buying the color vinyl. That was the trend. And that was immediately part of the reason why I wanted to collect vinyl, because I thought that was pretty cool. I thought they looked awesome. I wasn't into like the right record player, cartridges, the sound, the tone arms, all of that, the PVC versus plastic, picture disc. I didn't know any of that shit. I just wanted a fucking Slayer album that had the cover art on the vinyl. I thought that was awesome. I was the vinyl trend back then. And so that was what got me into collecting vinyl. It was for those reasons. And then it got into more of, I really like having all of these relics in my collection. I don't have my CD or tape collection anymore. These vinyls are awesome. Like, I understand now why my parents were so into it. So I didn't have any OG copies of anything at all. The only OG copies I have in my collection right now are things that I've inherited from family members and a few select things that I've bought because they were decent prices. So OG collecting is not something I've ever wanted to do. A couple of things, yeah, I've done like my Holy Grails videos of what I would love to own on OG copies, but there's just never been anything that I've been able to have access to. Unfortunately, a lot of these vinyl collectors that you probably watch on YouTube they've gotten them when they first came out, or they were buying vinyl when vinyl was dead and they were finding them in the bargain bins at record stores for like $3 and they were still collecting vinyl. They were still the OG collectors back then. Unfortunately, that wasn't me. I was not doing that. I got sucked into the digital wave there where I removed all of my physical media and was only streaming and buying digital downloads and creating my mixes in iTunes and shit like that. That was me, and downloading off of Napster and fucking pissing off Lars Ulrich. That was me. So collecting OG copies is not something that is very practical for me. It's expensive, especially for a lot of things I want. A good example here is I am 100% sure that this original OG copy of this is at least over $100, and I'm just not going to do that. Like, I'm just not. You run a lot of risks for that, especially buying online. You don't actually know if the vinyl plays or sounds well. You don't know the actual quality of jacket. Like, pictures can mask those types of things. And it just is not anything I do now. If there is something that I really, really, really want in an OG copy where I just don't feel like owning the reissue is going to satisfy me, then I'll do that. And there's about 10 records where I'm planning to do that, or will probably try to do in the near future when I'm comfortable or financially stable enough to do so, which at this point I don't think I'm ever really going to be financially stable to do OG collecting, so I just don't do it. Now with CDs and tapes I will. CDs and tapes are a little bit more reasonable, and those just aren't price gouged for the most part. So that's why. Now the color versus black, I already talked about that in my last video a couple days ago. I don't care. I don't care about color vinyl. Like, I like it. I don't have problems with it. I will buy it. I admit that if there's a splatter that looks awesome, I will generally pick that over a black vinyl variant. But if black is the only option, I don't care. I'll get it. Or if the color vinyl version is a lot more than the black variant, which happens quite a bit, then I'll just get the black variant, etc., 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 or whatever. I don't have any aversions to that. So yes, I like color vinyl. I'm a part of the vinyl trend that's ruining everything. I'm a fucking poser. So there you go. That's the answer to that question. Also, that person is no longer going to ever be able to comment on my videos because fuck him. Okay, the next one is actually something I am probably going to go a bit of a rant on. So, heads up. Thoughts on the Tapping the Vein reissue that was just announced. Sodom's Tapping the Vein is an album that I have wanted in my collection for 14 years now. They've reissued it like maybe once or twice. I don't even know. But whatever time that they've reissued it, it's never been something that I bought or I've held off on and then fucking regretted it. And the resale for it has been stupid. Like, dumb. For CD, tape, and vinyl. I'm pulling up Discogs right now. There is one U.S. person selling Tapping the Vein right now. It is a CD. It's the original Steam Hammer CD for $33.98 plus $7 shipping for $40 total for one CD. I am sorry, actually. This is a Japanese copy. It is not. It's a Japanese copy. So it's not even... It's a Metal Mania / Steam Hammer Japanese copy of the CD for $40. I don't want to spend $40 on a CD. I want to go and buy a CD for $15 or $20. $15. Yeah, it's an authentic Japanese copy. So, okay, Japanese copies are generally a little bit more in terms of collecting. But that's it. If I want to get Tapping the Vein right now, it's got to be somewhere out of my country. The pricings are ridiculous because of the shipping, or they're just ridiculous because they're selling it for like $100. So this has been a thing with Sodom. A lot of their records. I have 2 of their albums. I have Persecution Mania and I have Agent Orange. They're bootleg CDs. They're not even original or official issues. So, and I got them off of Amazon for like $15. So I was really excited when I saw that they were going to be announcing this. They hinted at it the day before, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I can't wait to get this. And then it got fucking announced and released on Sodom's website and Noise Records website. And just no. I mean, I'm sure some of you all have probably already gotten, and it's fine. And I'm not chastising you for it. I'm just chastising the option that we have here is a 2-disc version of a remaster and a remix of the album with like a printed inner sleeve, and only a colored version. They don't have black, and it is $40, I think, plus these are all European shipping. So unfortunately there's nothing in the US right now, so the shipping is astronomical. So if I were to buy directly from Noise Records, just the 2-disc version of the vinyl, red vinyl, it is $40 for just the vinyl plus $23 for shipping plus tax. Total to be about $67 just for that vinyl. No, thank you. And then there's also a 3 CD edition that looks pretty cool, but I don't want the CD. But I was still, like maybe I'll just deal and just get the CD. It's $25 plus $10 shipping and tax. It's about $37 for the CD. That's a little bit better, but again, I don't want the CD. I want the vinyl. I'm gonna be a picky piece of shit here. I want the vinyl. I don't want the CD. They also have a like expanded edition, deluxe expanded edition where it's 3 LPs and a 2 CD, $100 plus like $30 shipping plus tax, so it's like almost $140 for that. At that point, might as well just order that. Those are the only options I have. That's through Noise. They have it in US dollars, but they're still charging you an astronomical amount because they're coming from the UK, I'm pretty sure. And then you can buy from Sodom's website, same thing. It's expensive as hell. And I was pretty disappointed about that. I was hoping for a little bit more choice here. A color version or a black version. The black version being a lot more cheaper. And a US distribution of it. And I don't know, like, I'm sure it has a lot to do with the rights of who owns the music, and it's Noise Records, so da-da-da-da-da. That's just the problem here. But I was hoping, maybe Noise would have worked with the US distro that would get these in stock, so that way we didn't have to deal with the astronomical pricings of the shipping and stuff like that. I was hoping maybe they would go on Amazon. I haven't seen them up for pre-order on US Amazon. I don't know about other country Amazons. And maybe they will. Like maybe Hell's Headbangers, NWN, Blast Beat Vinyl, Vinyl Command, all these places that I buy from in the US will eventually get a copy in, but how expensive is it going to be? Because unfortunately, for something like this, I still don't know if I want to spend $40 on the vinyl. Yeah, and I just talked about how I've always wanted it and it's hard to get. However, that's just nuts. So I was pretty frustrated about it. Pretty disappointed about it. I'm going to hold off for now. It doesn't come out until November 15th. I've got well over, 2 months, about 2 months now to decide on this. For now, I'm not buying it. I'm holding off on it. I'm going to wait it out and see if it does come into the U.S. I'm not going to buy directly from Noise or Sodom. Just see if a U.S. distro gets it. And if I get it, I get it. I don't. At this point, I'm just not going to do it. But I am pretty pumped about it. Did there need to be a remixing? I don't know. But that just seems to be the trend right now. Like the new Edge of Sanity reissues. This has a remaster and then a remix as well. It's a 2 CD remaster remix that Central Media just put out. Shout out to Roger, I think was the one that got me to know that these were out. So like that just seems to be the trend right now for these reissues, unfortunately. So super pumped about it, but was disappointed as soon as I saw how expensive and how hard it was going to get. And I'm not a fan of buying from overseas at the moment. Because I've had a lot of issues with that. I just got something in from Darkness Shall Rise. That came fast. They shipped it nicely. They used a good postal service and stuff like that, but that doesn't always happen. The other question that I got, and I'm actually surprised that I haven't talked about this on here. I think just I've been so involved in so much other stuff on this channel right now, like the high roller reissues and heavy metal music, and just that's what I've been really involved with lately, and I haven't been spending a whole lot of time diving into black metal or anything like that. I mean, there's been a few things I've shown here and there, but Peter from Abagor passed away about 2 weeks ago, which just sucks. It was a shock, and he was really young. He was only 49 years old. I don't know the cause of death. Admittedly have not gone to look and see, but I know some people were pretty upset about it. So the question was, do I like Abagor and do I have any of their records in my collection? And I do. So hold on, because I should have pulled these off, because I knew this was what I was going to talk about. But yeah, I do. Okay, so I do have quite a bit here. I actually just got some of these in a couple of weeks ago. But World Terror Committee, which I'm gonna get called out for being sketch now. Um, whatever. Uh, Reissued like all of her albums, I think, and I noticed that the spine has a picture on it, so this probably is like similar to Necrophobic that I have, where it makes a picture on the side. I did not get them all, but I got some. But yeah, I mean, this needs no introduction. They're really nice digibooks. You guys, I hate this shit, these digipacks, but they're done nicely, nice and glossy, a nice booklet. So yeah, I did pick these up slowly on Bandcamp when they first were announced, and then I picked up a couple more from Discogs after that. So I've got a few here. I've got this one. This is immediately probably these two are obviously the ones that I'm most familiar with and like what I knew Abigor as, and so I've said that they were my favorite albums. But now that I've got more, I need to get the newest one too. I really enjoy the newer album as well. So I'm not saying the names of these because I can't say them. Obviously, from the Twilight Kingdom, that's in parentheses. We all know that that's the title, but these, I just Invoke the Dark. Oh, they do have the Invoke the Dark Age. Like these two, obviously, are the most known ones that I really enjoyed in like what I know Abigor as. But I did get recently, fairly recently, actually, about a month before his passing, actually. So I got the Retaliation. Again, it's all these WTC reissues, and like I said, they all have a color or a picture on the spine. So I'm sure if I were to get them all, it would make a nice picture. But I didn't get them all. I might now. I don't know. Apocalypse. So yeah, I do like Abigor. I do. And, that sucked at that passing. And this is probably, if I had to say one of my favorite black metal bands, I would definitely say this. I enjoy everything. They definitely variance through their discography in terms of sound and stylism of their music. But I do enjoy pretty much every era of Abigor. And then this is the final one that I have. So really nice digibooks or digipacks or whatever from World Terror Community that they recently just put out. These are all out of order. So yeah, don't get mad at me for showing them out of order. But yeah, like I said, they've got like a picture so you can see that they're out of order on the side. So I'm sure if I got all the other ones, it would make a nice picture on the side. Which I'm assuming that they maybe do a box set and then release these individually. I don't know. So yes, but these were this was the first one that I got, obviously. I actually got this 2 years ago. I know I showed it off in a collection update. But since then I've recently got them. So yes, I do like Abigor. And I will just be the basic black metal bitch here. Because I know it'll be asked, like, what are my favorite albums? Well, obviously it's these two because they're the ones that I know the most, but I am now diving into the discography and I do want to get more of their albums, if not all of them, eventually sometime. But the nice thing is there is a lot of US distros that are selling these because World Terror Community obviously is not in the US, so they're pretty cheap and easy to get. But I do know that the resale of this one, which within good reason, is pretty expensive and kind of hard to find. This is one that goes out of print pretty quickly, so I'm glad that I got this when I did, because I recently was just curious and I looked on Discogs and there was like nothing in the US. So yeah, I really like Abigor. It's sad, they passed away. I don't know what happened. I've seen some like rumors of it, being a mental health problem and stuff like that, which just sucks. I mean, 49 years old. That's only 9 years older than me. Like, I could not imagine. So, yeah, I do like Abigor a lot. Then finally, the last question. What am I at? 18 minutes. Yeah, I'll cover the last question. The last question is just so random and off the rails, and it has nothing to do with music. It does have something to do with music. It was definitely just a troll comment, and I wasn't gonna say anything. But this person has now been blocked because he did a slew of troll comments after he found my channel. So he obviously found my channel either on the homepage or I was suggested after he watched somebody else's video, and it was very obvious he doesn't know this channel or understand a lot of the vinyl community in which I was talking about in my last video of my Jurgen's response, and he says, I love my records. He could have just ended it there, but no. I didn't realize vinyl was a trend, and so this also made me think, like, this is somebody who might be a little bit older, is newer to YouTube, I don't know, or has never been involved with the vinyl community of YouTube. I wouldn't call it that. I just called my favorite medium for listening to recorded music. I think the trend is more people showing off their collections like it's fucking show and tell, and we're in elementary school. That's the trend. I think you all are really speaking enough with these damn videos. And this is the first time I've ever gotten this on my channel. I know other vinyl community people have gotten a comment like this on their channel. You motherfuckers showing off your things. Look what I got. Show and tell. Look what I bought. All the money I'm spending. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me. And you assume that that's what the point of this is. And maybe some people are doing that. I'm not going to speak for other YouTubers out there. I know my close friends on here, and most of the people that you subscribe to are not doing that. And that is not the purpose of it. We are a bunch of fucking nerds. I get off when Dennis over at Analog Archives holds up an immolation demo tape that he has in his collection that he got, you know, back in the day. He holds it up and he's like, yeah, let's talk about this today. I'm like, oh yes, let's talk about the demo. Show the J card, goddammit. It's like fucking porn for me. That is my reasoning for loving those videos. Ken did it. I was obsessed when he would do those videos. Back when Marty actually made videos outside of Heavy Metallurgy, when Ben does it. Aaron over at the Metal Theologian, he obviously doesn't show off a whole lot of like death metal and stuff that was the premise of the channel, but he shows off a lot of other stuff, a lot of obscure stuff too, and I'm just like, yes. Yeah, like when he pops up a jazz album that I grew up loving and I didn't think anybody else knew about, I'm floored. And I go off in the comments about how great he is. Like, that stuff is amazing. We just nerd out about music in our collection. Like, that's what it is. And mine has a little bit of an added element to it, and I'm sure, as a lot of other YouTubers as well, too, like this is now their premise as well, is promoting things that you might not know about to help out a label and a band. I show off a lot of underground things that not a lot of people know about. Like, this is a new release I just got from Iron Fortress that I'm planning on talking about in a video next week of some new stuff that he recently just dropped that you should listen to. That's the other reason why I'm doing it, is because I want to promote underground music that people don't know about. But I also like to talk about reissues that have come out that you may not know about, and talk about the quality of them and how they sound and if they're worth getting in your collection, or just how I've never owned them and I'm excited I have them now, and what the album means to me and what I think about the music, and then hearing your guys' thoughts on it as well. So that's the other thing. I have nothing to brag about in my collection. As I stated earlier, most of my stuff is brand new reissues, nothing OG. It's the channels that have all the OG stuff that I absolutely love on here, that I fiend for them to make new videos on, because I love that shit. I love the history behind it. It like I said, it gets me off. That's what gets me going, guys, if you've ever wondered. That's the stuff that I absolutely love about YouTube that has connected us all. And just hearing the stories about it. I mean, Death Metal Podcast, Death Metal Radio Podcast. What the hell is your channel name again? I can never say it. I feel like he's changed it a couple times. Death Metal Podcast. Like, he streams every single Friday, and he shows off and talks about these things, and he shows off the old shows and interviews and like zines that he has, and like there's that stuff that I absolutely love, and I watch his stuff as much as I can. I just mentioned Aaron Jurgen is another one that I talked about in my last video. Same thing. He goes through, he's got like an archive of just amazing music. Dennis, the Analog Archives, like all of these guys. And then, you know, the newer YouTubers like Matt, Altars of Madness, and like, I'm blanking on other ones right now, I'm sorry, Metal Miners, and all of them, like, they're into the new music too. And so we all nerd out about new music that's coming out and talk about like, oh yeah, look how awesome this vinyl is. Like, what color variant did you get? Or like, how does it sound? How's the music? What do you think about the music? Stuff like that. Like, there's that element too. So we're just a bunch of collecting nerds. And it is the same exact fucking thing as if we were collecting comic books. I need a glass of water. Or baseball cards, or the Funko Pops, which people often mention these, and I will do a video on them someday and show you all the ones that I have, that I've collected over the years. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. You don't collect something and then sit there and nerd out about it? Like, come on now, Mr. Holier Than Thou, show and tell. Then don't fucking watch our videos. Like, why did you even come here and say that? Jesus Christ. So fuck off, whatever your name was. What was your name? the Nuclear Mutant. Hopefully you're not a subscriber, which you weren't, because I went and looked at your channel, of other people and are like a good close friend of them. And if you are, then yo, YouTubers, your friend's a fucko. Tell them to go take a shower and step outside for once in their life. So yeah, that's my final thought of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed another Q&A. I'm going to stop doing these for a while. It's just a cop-out for content, I'm not going to lie. I just wanted to hear my own voice and show off a Cannibal Corpse short shirt. Jesus. So yeah, I've got a lot of new stuff coming. A lot of pre-orders have finally come in, like the Edge of Sanity reissues. I can talk about my Abigor stuff more in detail. I just got some new bolt thrower tapes that Corpse Crystal just reissued. Paul is awesome and sent me a nice big old box of them, so we'll be doing a video on that. And like I said, Iron Fortress just put out a bunch of new stuff, and I finally was able to listen in and grab a couple things, so we'll be talking about those, showing off what I have, bragging about my collection, of course. Look at my millions of dollars that I'm spending. And then, you know, Darkness Shall Rise also just put out a bunch of Niflheim reissues, and I've never owned any of these albums in my collection. But I grabbed them, and they're beautiful, and they're gorgeous, and I'll talk about them. So yeah, I've got a lot of new stuff. All of this stuff, obviously, I link in my descriptions, let you know where you can go listen and buy this stuff, and I'm not just hoarding it for myself and showing you my millions of dollars of collections and bragging and sitting on a gold toilet and fuck off to that last guy. I will see you guys in the next one.